Welcome back to the fourth and final segment in this pre-Thanksgiving Go Gaddis Real Estate Radio Show. In fact, I want to say at the beginning of this fourth segment that from my family to yours, including Tammy's family, that will soon all be my family, may your turkey be juicy, your pie be perfect, and your relatives, well, at least reasonably well behaved. We want to make sure all of you have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. In this segment in our Neighborhood Spotlight, we're featuring Blue Springs in Kennesaw, and we're going to talk about open houses, or maybe they should be called open risks, and we're going to talk a little bit about lease purchases. You're listening to Go Gaddis Real Estate Radio. My name is Cleve Gaddis. I'm here to make real estate clear and simple and worry-free. And if you want to communicate with me, it's easy. Go to gogaddisradio.com, GOGADDIS radio.com. where you can ask questions, make comments, you can push back, challenge things we say, share ideas with us. Request we feature your neighborhood on our Neighborhood Spotlight, just like Blue Springs today in Kennesaw. And you can subscribe to our podcast or to our YouTube channel. We would love for you to do either of those things. If you're thinking about selling your home anytime in the next year, we want to make sure you get the upside. Meaning, we want to make sure you get what is best for you in your specific situation. Who cares what is right for your neighbor, what is right for your boss or your coworker or your pastor? It's really all about what is right for you. And there's four really distinctly different ways of selling a home in today's market, and we didn't have all of these 20 years ago. So you can sell your house for a guaranteed cash offer, close in 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months. You can do that, and you have certainty, and you have convenience, and you have really speed to getting it closed if you need it. You could sell your home as is, where is, with any faults that it has through the listing service. You can totally do that. We can help you with either of those first two. You can make some improvements to your home through what's called our Rehab and Refresh program, or maybe just improvements that you make yourself. For those of you who are out there thinking, man, I would sell my house today if I didn't have so much to do to get it ready. I know there are people listening to me today who are thinking, oh my gosh, I have got so much stuff in my basement. The thought of me having to deal with it shuts me down when it comes to moving. And I can totally relate to that. My sister and I used to use my mother's basement as a storage area, and I don't remember how many years ago it was, 10 or 12 years ago, for her Mother's Day present, we cleaned that sucker out because we knew someday she was going to want to move and she would feel the weight of all the stuff that was there, and we knew we needed to get rid of it. So I can totally relate to somebody who's thinking, man, my home is not in the right condition. How do I deal with it? Well, our Rehab and Refresh program can help you as a home seller figure out how to deal with anything. Got too much clutter? No problem. Need new colors? No problem. Need new floors? No problem. Need new countertops? No problem. Need to replace your furnace and don't have the money to replace your furnace before you sell? No problem. Our Rehab and Refresh program can advance you up to $15,000 to make repairs to your home so that when you go to put it on the market, it will fetch the highest sales price. And in those cases, we always want to get $2 or $3 or $4 back for every dollar we spend. So we spend $10,000. We want to get $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 more. And you're probably thinking, you can't invest $10,000 and sell for $40,000 more. Yes, you can. Buyers go crazy when they find a home that is in absolutely picture-perfect condition. So if they're going and looking at houses all day in a neighborhood, and they look at the first 5 and they're in average condition, and they see yours and boom, it pops. It looks way more like 2025 than 1997, like all of the other listings. They will be interested in your property. And the last way to sell it would be to buy your new home before you sell your existing home, and you can do that through Modern Traditions Realty Group, which is my real estate business, using our Buy Before You Sell program. So all cash, guaranteed offer, as is, where is, all faults, Rehab and Refresh, improve the property to make the most money, Buy Before You Sell. Any of those we can help you with. And the Upside program is all about helping you understand what is the upside for you. So go to gogaddisradio.com, click on the Upside, put in just a little bit of information, and we will reach out to you. I will meet with you myself, and I will walk through all of those options with you, and it would be my pleasure to do that. And remember, there's no cost, no obligation, and no expectation that you'll actually work with us in the future. Each week, we pick one specific Metro Atlanta neighborhood to call out critical changes to help you as a homeowner in the neighborhood know whether or not you have an advantage This week we have selected Blue Springs, which is in Kennesaw in Cobb County. If you're going 75 north, use exit 269, turn left onto Ernest Barrett Parkway, turn right onto US 41, and the neighborhood is on the right. It is a well-designed, wooded neighborhood made up of traditional-style homes. It's an active tennis, pickleball, and swim community, and other amenities are a clubhouse and a pool. The neighborhood has good access to I-75, 575, Kennesaw State University. It's 10 minutes to historic downtown Kennesaw. It's 15 minutes to historic downtown Ackworth. It's 15 minutes to Caldwell Park. It's 20 minutes to Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield. It's 30 minutes to Red Top Mountain State Park. And the Red Top Mountain State Park, you might not have ever even heard of it, but it is a popular park on Lake Allatoona. It's ideal for swimming, water skiing, fishing. Visitors can bring their own boats or rent from nearby marinas. A sand swimming beach is nestled in a cove and surrounded by trees, providing a great place to cool off during the summer. Picnic shelters are available and guests stay overnight in rental cottages, a spacious campground, or the park's lakeside yurt. Red Top Mountain is also a hiker's haven. More than 15 miles of trails wind through the forested park. The gravel-top 4-mile Iron Hill Trail is open to both hikers and bikers, offering pretty views of the lake's shoreline. Let's take a look at what's happening in Blue Springs over the last 3 years. Prices are marching along in the right direction. In 2023, there were 17 homes sold. Took an average of 19 days. The average sales price was $421,000. 2024, there were 12 homes sold. They took 54 days, and the average sales price dropped $4,000 to $417,000. In 2025, year to date, however, there's been 9 homes sold. They've taken an average of 33 days from listing to contract, and the average sales price is $442,000, almost $25,000 higher than in 2024. There are currently 4 homes available for sale in the neighborhood. There was 11 homes that sold over the last 365 days, which means you have 4.36 months worth of inventory. It's about typical for Metro Atlanta, in the high 4s. That means if no new homes came on the market, based on sales patterns of the past, it would take 4 months for all 4 of those homes to sell. The average list price is $437,000. They go from a low of $425,000 to a high of $450,000. 282 homes in the neighborhood in 2011. On average, they sold for $112,991. When we look at the average sales price today of $442,211, homeowner equity has increased in the neighborhood in those 14 years to the tune of $92.8 million. $92.8 million. If you're looking for a home to purchase and you're not finding what you're wanting when you're looking online on your preferred websites, maybe the problem is the website and you need to search suremls.com, suremls.com. That's our website, pulls listings from both the First Multiple Listing Service and the Georgia Multiple Listing Service. So when you might be missing your perfect property on another website, it doesn't mean you can't find it there. Go to suremls.com, suremls.com, and just give it a try. If you have an open house, is it actually an open risk? So today's question comes from a DINK couple, dual income, no kids, whose agent wants to host an open house. Henry and Joyce in Johns Creek say we have a problem. We're a dual income, no kids couple, and our home is filled with expensive and breakable items, and our agent wants to host an open house. We're not sure if letting the public walk through is worth the risk. And I will tell you that in my opinion, in this area of the world, it is probably not worth the risk. Open houses sound great in theory. You get more eyes on your home, maybe spark a little competition, but let's be real. You're basically inviting strangers to wander around your place, and while most people are respectful, all it takes is one person who's a little too curious or one elbow in the wrong direction, and suddenly that fancy vase is history. So what do you do? Well, first off, you've got options. You don't have to host an open house. A lot of homes sell just fine through private showings or by appointment tours, especially if your agent markets it well online. But if you do go for it, make sure you prep. Tuck away the valuables, the heirlooms, the fragile pieces, lock up the jewelry and the documents. Ask your agent to have a second person there. An extra set of eyes certainly never hurts. At the end of the day, it's your call. If having strangers in your home makes you anxious, skip the open house. Your peace of mind, in my opinion, is worth way more than any potential foot traffic. All right, that's one couple's open house dilemma, and I think a lot of sellers can probably relate to it. In last week's show, we talked about how to make your home stand out online, so you might not even need that open house. Visit gogaddisradio.com and click on podcast to listen. I want to close out by talking about a lease purchase. Had somebody say today, well, I'm moving up from Orlando. I need time to sell my house. I'd like to lease purchase this house in Atlanta. Is it possible? And the answer is yes. A lease purchase is always possible. A lease purchase is when you negotiate a lease and you negotiate a purchase agreement. And so in this particular case, it's a big, fat, juicy house. It's a nice house. So the rent would be about $8,000 a month. So they could agree to lease the property for up to 6 months at $8,000 a month, agree to buy it at X percentage price within a certain amount of time. But the key, in my opinion, to making those things work is for the buyer, the person who wants to do the lease purchase, to understand the needs of the seller and to do what they can to give it to them. And this person said, hey, can I also buy the house for a couple $100,000 less than they have it listed? And I would say maybe, maybe not, because you're asking the seller to take the home off the market to forego the time they could use looking for another buyer that could afford to pay them a full price in exchange for doing a lease purchase, which probably doesn't meet their exact timing needs. But a lease purchase is 1,000% doable. That's all for today's Go Gaddis Real Estate Radio. From my family to yours, again, may your turkey be juicy, your pie be perfect, and your relatives, let's just hope they're reasonably well behaved. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll be back same time, same channel next week, and we look forward to talking to you then. Have a great week and a very, very happy Thanksgiving.